I'm so glad this was my last day.
On the council?
I don't think that.
Finance
that's
here
yet.
together, you better be.
I'm kidding.
You pay that.
Love my job.
All right, welcome everybody. Pre-council meeting on Tuesday, May 16th. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Minutes approved. All right, Virgil.
This is 16 28th Avenue. This is a burn house. The homeowner decided to go ahead and let us just condemn this one. He's not going to contest it and will not be here.
It's in District 1. It's near the trains, near the train trestle, near the cross street from the jail, kind of corner, near that way.
Not far from
Yeah.
Central.
No, sir, not far at all. Thank you. I think that's a good idea that he's gonna do.
He had looked into trying to save it, but he realized wasn't working.
It was gonna be more to try to save than it was.
So he just decided to go ahead and let us continue on with the condemnation.
Okay, that's fine.
Get you all this and then together with pictures.
That's what we're gonna do. Yes, sir, we'll do that. First, y'all gonna help me out.
Okay,
We got one more.
one more?
All right.
So this one's at 3209 29th Street, also known as 3207 29th Street.
That's in District 1.
AKA.
AKA, this one has a house and it also has an accessory building in the back. We contacted the owner at the last minute contacted us back, wanting to try to
TCTA.
extend and everything else. but,
Is that TCTA or Central Elementary?
We feel like we need to just go ahead and proceed with
Yes,
this,
it's-
condemnation.
it is.
Where's it at?
29th Street.
That's near TCTA, right?
Huh?
Near
Every
TCTA?
day.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Too much.
How long has it been like that?
Well,
Go buy this stuff
we
on-
put this house
Every day.
into property maintenance about 4 years ago. They kind of half fixed it and then just left it like it was before, didn't take care of it, and got back into this position. And I had been watching it, and the mayor did one of his ride-arounds, and he flagged this one, so I went over there and I did a little more probing, and the backside of the house has an open hole in the roof, and then the whole shed back there is completely gone.
Wonderful.
So has anybody responded to you?
They did respond, 30 minutes ago. Wanting to know if we could postpone the hearing, and we said no, we can't postpone the hearing, but they may or may not be here tonight to try to get y'all to table it. It's our recommendation just to move
Do
forward.
y'all know if he has any money to fix it?
Obviously, they didn't fix it the last time I brought it up, so.
You know, and I'm gonna say, one thing that concerns me, and I'm grateful and thankful for how you all are diligently working to rid my district of blight, is the timeline and the time frames that you give these owners to make improvements before they get on the list. And I want people in the community to know, if we want to build up our district and build up our community, we gotta be able to, eradicate blight from our communities and try our best to bring something positive in the neighborhood and the community.
We know not everybody has money
Right.
just laying around to fix stuff, so we try to work with them on time frames for that, but like I said, we wrote this one, and I can't remember when I wrote it back. I want to say 2018, I believe, might have been 2019, I wrote this property up, and they did a patch job on the roof, and a couple of other little small items that I had on there for property maintenance. And then it's just sat there and deteriorated back to this condition now.
What's the address again?
3709.
3207 or 3209?
What address would you
3209
like?
AKA.
3209, also known as 3207 29th Street.
Okay.
Like I said, the
There's
whole.
probably more to
you
that
can't-
story.
The pictures don't do justice of
Yes.
the structure in the back, but the structure in the back,
There's
the
probably
roof
more
is
to that
completely gone. was kinda hard to get good pictures of the accessory structure back there. You can see, I mean, basically the roof is non-existent.
Okay. Any more questions for Virgil?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you both. Thank you, Virgil. Thank you, Barry.
Thank you.
Okay. Zach?
All right, we've got 2 public hearings and then an annexation for you guys tonight. So the first public hearing is a rezoning of 1 acre located at 531 to 619 25th Avenue East. They're rezoning from RD2 to R4 for HR Properties LLC. So this is the location of the property right next to Alberta City, where or Alberta Elementary, where Juanita Drive kind of ends there.
Say Alberta City?
Well, I meant to say Alberta Elementary. I know it's just Alberta. Don't worry about it.
Close to Alberta City, though.
I would
You
never
can
say
ride
Alberta
those.
City.
Alberta City must be in Canada.
Is that not the
Yeah,
name
yeah.
of it?
I've always said that, but
You always been wrong.
Softball down the middle.
I tell you.
So
Where those new
there,
mobile showers
It's
are
not your fault.
Oh,
It's not your fault.
That's where the showers are going. It's great to know.
they're proposing 6 duplexes at this property here. You can see,
Where is this?
no, near
It's in
Alberta
Alberta.
Elementary
You need to go
Oh,
through
is this on the,
on 25th Avenue, kind of close to where the fire station is.
That's the school right there, isn't it?
is that the, that by
Right,
elementary
26?
right, that's the elementary school right there.
Is that by, I'm sorry, Zach, is
You're
that by, it's vacant now, right?
Yes, sir.
And who is doing this?
HR Properties, I'm not sure exactly
I
the
haven't,
name of the owner.
I haven't talked with them, met with them, anything.
Okay, well, I'll tell them to reach out to y'all
Well, I think that would
today.
probably be a good
yeah.
idea.
But they went through planning commission and all of that, and it was recommended for approval for these, to rezone to R4 for these duplexes here that they're proposing. And it does conform to framework, which allows for a mix of compact housing within the traditional neighborhood core designation, as you can see here.
Well, my concern right off, and Chief knows this, but SIBO has really been on this 26th Avenue East,
Mm-hmm.
which would face that. We've had lots of problems
Gotcha.
with party houses,
Yes, sir.
one from UA, one from Stillman. And, I mean, we're talking about Animal House party houses. And that's, 26 is very quiet, mostly home ownership.
Yes, sir.
So I'm sure they're not going, they won't have a lot to say about this. But this is just for the set of public hearing?
No, this is for a public hearing.
This
You're
is-
going to be having a public hearing
This
tonight on
is
it.
the public hearing.
This is the public hearing for it.
Well, what, I don't wanna vote on this tonight. I have not met with them, I have not met with the neighbors,
Okay.
anything. And I'm more concerned about meeting with the neighbors.
Yes, sir. I'll have them reach out. I'll have the applicant reach out to y'all today.
Okay,
and-
because I definitely want to table.
Yes, sir. Okay.
So, okay, thank you. Because we got some great neighbors on 26 and they have not been aware either,
Yes, sir.
okay?
All right. Well, we'll let them know. And then we have another public hearing tonight for a rezoning, approximately 3.2 acres at 1309 to 1321 and 1401 to 1425 18th Avenue East. They're going from R3 to BGO, Council District 5. So this is Paramsetti's, Dr. Paramsetti's property adjacent to where he currently operates. This was introduced when he, actually on Dr. Paramsetti Day, I believe.
Yeah.
So y'all are a little bit familiar with this. This is how it looks today. A lot of houses and some vacant property mixed in between. But they have purchased all of that property. They don't have any plans today.
I think they purchased every home but one.
Yeah, there's a couple of stragglers that they were working on. Yes, sir. So they don't have any plans today, but of course, it's going to be coinciding with his medical
Yeah,
practices.
this is, yeah. He's got, one side, he's got physical therapy, occupational therapy, different things such as this. And, of course, I'm very in love with
Yes,
this.
sir. Yeah. I know you're very familiar with this one.
Yes, very much so.
And then we have one, and so it was recommended approval by a vote of 8-1. The one being just because they didn't have any plans for the future, they were a little hesitant on it. And then we have one more annexation. So this is an introduction, but can be adopted by unanimous consent tonight. So this is annexing approximately 2.65 acres on 5421 Rice Mine Road Northeast, right across from Pinnacle Park, touching the lake there, as you can see. So this is a little strip of property that is not in the city today, as you can see in this zoning map here. And they are annexing into the city in order to connect to city services, and this is also part of a planned unit development that you guys are going to be setting a public hearing for tonight. That will be heard on June 6th.
Can you flip back to the area map?
Yes, sir.
So Rice Mine Road.
So Townsend North River is just north of this. Pinnacle Park, the townhome development, is right there.
Oh, no.
And then
Where's the Publix?
Publix is just on your bottom right hand.
Past it, and you're past Publix. heading
Okay, and
west
then the
on right.
spillway's down there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Behind it.
Don't you?
No.
And this is what they're proposing, six lots, all single-family residential. So this will be part of the plan unit development. But in order to build it, they are requesting to connect to city services and annexing into the
Who's doing
city.
this?
This is Aaron Sincroft with Trick Construction. Bill Trick, William Trick owns the property today.
You know what's disappointing, I wanna make it very clear.
Yes, sir.
It's not my ego on that duplex, it's the fact that those neighbors are so engaged in their neighborhood, and so vigilant about the things that have been going on. That's who I want to make sure that they
Yes,
feel
sir.
good about it.
Gotcha. And
What are the,
like
what are the,
this.
well, what are the neighbors in the neighborhood next to it saying?
Edward Circle down just south of it. One person we discussed with was concerned about, they've always had that wooded area behind them, and it's going to be a 2-story structure next to their 1-story home that currently exists today.
What kind of buffer's gonna be between them?
So it's 2 residential properties. So I think with the setbacks itself, there's about 30 feet in between them from back of that house to the back of the other. But that's typical for any zoning district within the city, residential adjacent to residential. And again, just to reemphasize, we send out public hearing notices. They've already been through a public hearing once with the Planning and Zoning Commission. And so we've been letting the neighbors know throughout this whole process, and we just haven't had any issues with it until this time, so.
But let me ask you, on a situation like back on 25th, did every person on 26th Avenue East get a notice?
Within 500 feet of that property
Okay,
is where we send out.
I'm not the brightest star in the sky.
That would be no.
Work from you to where would be 500 feet?
It'd be quite a lot. It would be more than a football field.
Almost 2 football fields.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised at that one. I
We
mean,
had-
because
Yeah, I don't know why they haven't reached out to you or anything. Maybe
It's
they weren't
almost 2 football.
necessarily concerned about it.
Zach, on this one, is there any addition of infrastructure involved on our part?
Not on our part, no, sir. They are gonna be building a public street, which actually allows for the northern property to be developed in the future as well, at the expense of this owner. So that benefits the northern
What,
property
and
pretty
we have some
significantly.
sort of sewer main?
Yeah, they'll be
They
tapping on
tie
a city,
into out
yeah,
there.
yes, sir. But nothing regards to the city on any expenses in that way. All right,
okay, thank you, Zach.
yep, thanks.
But I guess you can let them know that I do want this table.
Yes, sir, I will definitely.
Thank you. Alrighty, Mayor Maddox.
Thank you, Mr. Tyner. I am gonna defer my time to the gentlewoman from Water and Sewer, Kimberly Michael.
Okay.
She is going to give us an update on the municipal water pollution prevention report that you receive annually. Ms. Michael will not be here next week, and So I wanted to go ahead and get this in front of you, and I think you'll be pleased with the report. So this time, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Michael.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, Carrie.
So every year we're required by ADEM to submit the municipal water pollution prevention report, and this is with the wastewater facility. Each year we get a score that the lower the score, the better. And it takes into account things like overflows or SSOs, conditions of your plant, different things like that. And ADEM uses the data to help with things such as distributing SRF money. It helps them gauge where just the different plants are throughout the system. It also helps them keep up with the different operators, because we're required to tell them which operators work at our plants and things like that. So we just wanted to brief you on this because it will be, as Mayor Maddox said, on the agenda next week, and because we have to have a resolution with this stating that y'all have reviewed it, and it's due by May 31st each year. But so this year's score was 236 out of 783, which is a 19% improvement over last year. So we're actually pretty proud of that. So the improvements, or the reduction in the score, or the better of the score, were due to things like tightening up treatment processes, so our lab data was better. So we weren't having any of the hits, or near as many hits with ADEM or violations with ADEM, things like that, from the treatment processes. So the reduction is directly due to the operations staff and the facilities and the way things have been improved in the last year or so. The category, if you look at it, there's certain points that you get depending on the number of SSOs. So we're at a point where we're about as low as we can go without some drastic improvements. So there are some things that we are learning as we go through this process, that if we get dinged for the number of SSOs. Well, if you have an SSO and then you're able to make, if it's due to like some kind of a failure or something, you're able to make changes to it. It helps reduce your score and things like that. If you use the SSOs as opportunities to improve the situation, it'll help better your score. But we're about as low as we can go. But this is the best score that we've had in a few years, and so we're actually pretty proud of that. As we improve certain processes, so some of the capital projects that we'll do, they factor in and it lessens the age of the plant. So right now, for instance, based on our recent or semi-recent UV addition at the plant, it took the age of the plant from, correct me, Dustin?
It's been about 28 years, I think.
And so it lessened the age of the plant by 10 years, essentially, by adding the UV. So there are things like that we do, that when we have major process improvements, it will lessen the age of the plant, therefore lowering our score. So I just wanted to get it in front of y'all. This is the smaller version that you have in front of you, is the actual report piece. And then the piece that's been emailed to you has the full document. The other 100 pages or so are just like different data and stuff that we collect throughout the year that's required. But it's all captured in the first 15 to 20 pages of the report.
So this is one that's the lower the score, the better, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
I would have done real well. in the
Thank
score.
you as well.
That doesn't just happen. People have to make it.
So, and if y'all have any other technical questions or anything about it, Dustin Grammer, he's our Water Resource Recovery Operations Manager, so he's here if y'all have any other questions today or throughout between now and next Tuesday.
Kimberly, what do we do that's comparable on the drinking water side?
So every year on the drinking, it's a little bit different, but so we have annual inspections every year.
And those by ADEM or for ADEM's?
Yeah, ADEM actually comes to the plants and do the full inspections, and this is the first year that I can recall, and we just got the results back from it, but the first year on the water side that we didn't have it was no deficiencies found, no corrections needed at either one of our plants.
So do they, in addition to the plants, the source of pushing water out, do they go out to the end destinations and do spot checking or some kind of checking out there?
Yes, so the permits
Because I'm assuming one dilemma is to get the water clean and push it out, right? The other dilemma is to make sure that the pipes it's traveling through don't, during the process, contaminate.
That's right. So on the water side, the biggest, I guess, hurdle that you have is water age. So the longer that the water's in the pipe, the water degrades, the chlorine degrades, and that kind of thing. So we're required, we go to the end of our systems, we do 100 to 200 samples every month throughout the system, and we go to the end points. And then we have a quarterly DBP requirements that it's rolling order.
What's
Yeah.
what?
Disinfection byproducts, has to do with the chlorine degrading, how fast the chlorine degrades in the system. So those are all on the water side, we have monthly reporting that we do every month, which is similar to this, but it's every month, and it's a lot more strict as far as, because it's serving the people as opposed to like where the wastewater side is receiving from the people. One is the water side, they're concerned about protecting the humans, and on the wastewater side, it's concerned about protecting the environment.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, that helps me answer a question of a constituent that I talked to the mayor about last night concerning.
Mr. Lanier is not here, so I'm gonna take over for him. He will, I wanted to get this in for him. He will be having his District 7 Town Hall on Thursday night from 5:30 to 6:30 at the FOP Lodge, 3250 9th Court. Of course, if you need any more information, you can go to 311. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to make it Thursday night, but I know Mr. Lanier is looking forward to hosting it, so I'm gonna get that plug in on behalf of.
Is that still over, kind of behind Southeastern Meats?
Yeah, it's by, I call it on University Apartments, I
Yeah,
forget
yeah,
their
yeah.
name now, Evolve, or what's the name of those
It's
apartments?
back behind, it was
The old
vet's
Tumbling
office,
Times?
veterinarian's office. Was
The
that
vet- the
agreed?
vet's been demolished.
Huh?
That's not there.
Is
I
it
know,
the old Tumbling Times?
Yeah, that was where behind where May Veterinary used to be, right?
It's right behind that, it's attached to the same building,
Okay.
so.
Behind where May Veterinary used to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been there before, but it's kind of a little hard to get to. If you
Paid
haven't
for
been
it, just
there,
in case you wanna know, it's paid for, it's paid.
that's good.
And I'm a member, just in case.
I know Cassius said they're gonna start it exactly on time and end in exactly 1 hour. That's what he said. That's good. We'll see. Alrighty. City Attorney Scott Holmes.
Good afternoon, council.
Good afternoon, Scott.
Good afternoon.
Sorry, let me clear off my podium here. I am towards the top of page 2, where on page 17, you'll be authorizing the city of Tuscaloosa to sign a memorandum of understanding with the Tuscaloosa Civil Rights History and Reconciliation Foundation. That was discussed in projects last week. On page 18, you'll be authorizing the mayor to execute amendment number 1 to task order directive numbers 3 and 4 with Cassidy Company for professional engineering and related services. This is for lift stations 10 and 11 and was discussed in projects last week. On page 19, you'll be authorizing a minor public works contract with Paints on Us Plus. That's a total of $27,900. That again was discussed in projects last week. On page 20, you'll be authorizing a minor public works contract with Straight Line Fence LLC. This is a total not to exceed $2,500 and came from projects last week. On page 21, you'll be authorizing a minor public works contract with K&A Builders, Inc. This is a total of $40,279.79, and again, came from projects last week. On page 22, you'll be authorizing the mayor to execute task order directive number 2 with Barge Design Solutions Incorporated for professional design services. This is for the Snow Hinton Park renovations phase 1. This is a total not to exceed $456,670, and again came from projects last week. On page 23, you'll be authorizing amendment number 1 to minor public works contract with Rev Construction. This is a total of $12,228, and again came from projects last week. On page 24, you'll be authorizing the mayor to execute a supplemental FY 2023 Alabama Recycling Fund Grant Award Agreement regarding the West Alabama Recycling Program with ADEM. This is a total of $37,703.90 and came from finance last week. On pages 25 through 26, you'll be tentatively awarding a public works contract for J.C. Park Pavilion renovation projects to K&A Builders. This is a total of $99,700 and came to you from projects last week. On page 27 through 28, you'll be tentatively awarding a contract for the Rock Quarry Boat Landing Docks to JT Harrison Construction Company. This is a total of $593,513 and came from projects last week. On page 29, you'll be authorizing the CFO to draw a draft for Juanita Drive Phase 2 improvements project property acquisitions in a total of $65,000. On skipping down, we do have one suspended rules item, which is setting a public hearing for the setting of the cost. There we go, of a demolition. On page 32, you'll be adopting amendment number 3 to the 2023 Elevate Tuscaloosa Fund budget. This came from Finance last week. And on page 33, you'll be adopting amendment number 14 to the fiscal year 2023 General Fund budget. And again, that came from Finance last week. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Mr. Holmes,
Yes, sir.
on that, the item for introduction on page 30 and 31, the Ice Mountain Road, all we're doing, or the council will do, is vote on just annexing that into the city. It's not approving anything else that was presented to us, correct? Because that'll be in the public hearing.
That is correct, because you'll be saying the public hearing for the PUD. Correct response? Yes, sir.
Okay. Just double checking.
Any other questions for Scott?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Busy committee day for sure, of public projects, finance, admin, community development, then council meeting at 6. And of course, I think is weather permitting, the Northridge graduation is still on for tonight. Mr. Crow's daughter's graduating and the mayor will be there speaking, so keep it close around City Hall. The mayor and I went to the Central's graduation last night. It was 48 minutes. I know, and it was, it was
That
really,
doesn't
really
count.
nice.
30 minutes of it were my speech.
That's right.
That doesn't count.
That was great, and it was, I was talking to somebody next to me. I came from the city school board, and things have changed so much. The biggest laugh got was try to keep your shouts to a minimal from the crowds.
Nobody paid attention to that.
Well, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't really bad, and one girl did try to show off a little bit. She made some twirls and almost knocked Dr. Daria down in the process. But other than that, it was
A few air horns.
huh?
A
Few air horns, and because the principal would turn around and tell her 48 minutes. That's darn good time.
Very good.
Yeah.
And I
So-
want to thank our amphitheater staff. Hank Williams, which sold out large, a lot of logistics on that. ACA on Sunday night, Central last night, potentially, tonight and tomorrow night, weather permitting. I mean, they're moving right now. They're doing a great job.
Absolutely. And by the way, Hank Jr. put a ring on the finger of a Tuscaloosa girl after the concert. Yeah, they've been together and now they're gonna get married. He put a ring on it in T-Town.
He didn't get it at Walmart, did he?
I don't know where he got it. Yeah, and I've known her since she was just a baby, and
You do it at
So-
part of the concert, or just
I
after?
don't think it was afterwards. So, anyway, it's marrying one of our Tuscaloosa ladies. All right, zoning board of adjustments on Monday. Anyone in the room have anything they'd like to bring to? Chief, I was talking about ratings, the are y'all in that process right now?
Yes, sir. We'll be completing the process in July, excuse me.
Okay. And I do want to give a big, whoever did it, I got a call Monday about a big trash dump behind Wright's Restaurant, right in Redmont, and just a lot of bad stuff, mattresses, just a mess. And it's all cleaned up completely at the end of the day yesterday. So who do I need to really be? I forget who I emailed Selvin, and Selvin got it to the right people.
Jennifer and
If we picked it up, it would be Selvin and Selvin's team.
Yeah, and I mean, it was dumped. I mean, it was bad, and there was also,
It'd be ESD.
yeah, okay, but they did a great job, buddy. I mean, it was it was done within really 48 hours, which is really very special. All right, is there a motion we adjourn?
Move.
All in favor to adjourn, say aye.